And it's Wednesday morning. We're going to continue with Matthew 16. We're going to pick up at verse 15 and read a few verses. Jesus said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter replied, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." Then he strictly charged the disciples to tell no one that he was the Christ. So Peter answers him, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus says, "Good job, Peter. Blessed are you." Now he calls him Simon Bar-Jonah, which is his actual name in Aramaic. Peter is a nickname. The word Petra is Greek for rock, and so Peter is kind of Petros is a nickname, sort of like Rocky. And he says, "Flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but God is the Father has revealed this to you." So this is a special revelation that's come from the Spirit, Jesus is saying. "And I tell you, you are Petros, Peter, and on this Petra I will build my church." That is a verse that the Roman Church uses to say, well, obviously Peter then is the first pope. There's a lot of historical issues with that, and we're not going to go into them here, except that he did die in Rome, and he was the leader of the church in Rome. So to look back and say he was the first pope might be an anachronism, but it might also be true. On that rock, his faith and his confession, Jesus will build his church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. So the church will survive no matter what sort of things come in this world, or what sort of nonsense the church comes up with, which is fairly often we do. "I will give you the keys of the kingdom, and whatever you bind or loose on earth will be bound or loosed in heaven." That's a difficult phrase to figure out what he really meant, but we do understand that he has given the church some authority, and the church can exercise that authority. Then it said to them, "Tell no one about this. Don't tell people that I'm the Messiah." So he kind of wants to keep it secret as he goes along to maintain his freedom of movement and stuff. If everybody knows he's the Messiah, they'll be crowding around and yelling and screaming and wanting things from him, and he won't be able to do anything. So he kind of wants to maintain a low profile, if you will. So Peter confesses Jesus as the Messiah, and Jesus in turn promises Peter that on this confession, on this rock, on this faith, he's going to build his church. Others will have the same confession, and they will be a part of the foundation for the church. And nothing will be able to overcome the church. So those are good promises, especially for us in a postmodern era where we wonder, especially with COVID around, how is the church going to survive? Will it be the same? Will it be different? What will happen? We don't know the answer to any of those questions, but we do know that the church will prevail. So have hope. See you tomorrow.